You guys want to learn how to spear giant northern pike through the ice? Make sure to stay tuned for today's video. I'm going to show you everything that you need to spear your first pike through the ice. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Dylan Grubb here, Extreme.Outdoorsmen. If you guys are new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Help me at 30,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it. But if you click this video, you are probably wanting to learn more about pike spearing. I've been doing it for a couple years now. Consistently, me and my dad growing up did it a lot more often, but I just started to get back into it the past couple of years, and that is due to the fact that my good buddy Caden, he got me back into it. He invited me out with him and we speared some really nice pike up in northern Michigan. And right after that, I just dove full throttle into it again, and I got everything that I need to go pike spearing. Like I've said in other pike spearing videos, basically a mixture of hunting and fishing together. You're basically just sitting there with the decoys, with a big spear, waiting for that big pike to come through your hole, and it is just the best. But in today's video, I basically have literally everything that I use when I'm heading out there to the lake to go pike spearing. So I'm gonna show you everything that I use in today's video. Hopefully you guys learn some info about what I do when I'm out there pike spearing. So we're gonna get right into it. Like I said, in today's video, I'm gonna quickly go over all these items, everything you need to start pike spearing. I laid everything out, but I'm gonna show you guys or talk to you guys about everything in order from what I do it. So when I'm first getting there to the spot, wherever I find a really good pike spearing spot, I usually pike spear any marinas, any boat launches, any canals where those pike are gonna be coming in and chasing bait fish. So the very first thing when you get to a spot is you wanna drill a sight hole. And this is what I usually use when I'm out there trying to drill a hole. I always use my Jiffy auger. I'll start out and I'll cut 4 holes on the edges, and then I'll actually get some of the slush out. After I use that auger to make a couple starter holes, I'll grab my ice saw. And you don't honestly need one of these ice saws, but it really helps with getting your sight hole super square, and it just helps it get super nice. So I like using this ice saw. I used it all last year, and basically you just open up the ice saw just like this. Oop, drop the pin. But there is the ice saw right there. And this ice saw is really cool. Basically, you just put it in the first starter hole, and it's basically like Connect 4. You just start sawing on the ice. And let me tell you guys, I didn't think this thing would work super good at first, but once you start sawing the ice, there's sort of like a method to it. But this thing is definitely the deal. If you guys are getting into pike spearing, you definitely need an ice saw. It makes it super nice and super efficient. It's pretty fast too, cutting through the ice, but it's a lot of fun. But there's that. I'll usually use that. And sometimes if I miss a little spot, there's a little spot with the ice that I didn't get, I'll usually have my ice spud right there, and I'll chip the ice and make it like a perfect square. And typically when you're out there pike spearing, not everyone does this, but you always want to mark your ice fishing hole. So usually when I cut out that ice, I'll grab a couple big blocks of it and set it right next to my hole. So when I'm done pike spearing, you can set it either almost right on top of it, or you can throw the ice back in there and put a bunch of sticks in there to mark your hole. But that is super important so no one falls in. But next, once I carve my hole, I'm gonna grab my ice shelter. And this Eskimo ice house is incredible, guys. I used it all last year, and this was the first time I used it last year. And this thing is super nice when you're pike spearing. You want to have a really dark tent or dark shelter, and this is really nice. It's all black inside, And it's just the perfect shelter. I've seen other guys pike spear with this thing, so I had to get this, and it definitely works good. You want it to be super dark in your shelter so that sight hole will be super bright and you can see all the pike come in. But I really recommend a big Eskimo ice shelter. They're super nice. But once you get that set up, you want to start setting up all of your decoys. And what I do is I usually have a little pole that's on top of the shelter, and I will connect ice fishing line, and I'll start setting up all my decoys. And I'm gonna show you some of the decoys that I use. I'm actually partnered up with Wallace Decoys. You've probably seen him before. He makes the best pike decoys out there, so definitely check him out. If you guys order anything, make sure to use code Extreme at checkout and you'll get a discount. But there's that one. I got this one right here, and this one's really cool. I've had a lot of pike come into this one. It's like a little baby rainbow trout or some type of trout. It definitely brings them in. This one is a spinny one, so when you pull on it, it spins like this or rocks. And that one is super cool. I've got a couple other ones. It seems like when I'm out there, I always use this one first. I'll start with that one paired up with this red one, if this is the red one right here. It seems like pike really key in on this red one, red and white. And this is probably one of my favorite ones that he carved for me, so shout out to Eric Wallace. He makes some incredible pike decoys, best in the business in my opinion. But that one right there is super cool. He's got all kinds of different colors, but here's another one real quick. I'll just show you my last one that I have. But these are just incredible. The detail and everything is amazing. But that one right there is phenomenal. And those decoys are super important. You want to have something flashy down there that'll catch the pike's eye, and he's gonna come in there and check it out, and then you're gonna spear it. But also what I typically have is, because it's usually pretty cold out there when you're pike spearing, so I'll usually have my big buddy heater with me, and it'll keep me super warm. And last but not least, guys, I pretty much went over everything that I use. I set up my decoys. And last but not least, you need a big spear. And my dad's actually had this one for a long time. I don't even know, probably 10 or 15 years or longer. I know a lot of those guys that pike spear have super nice, like wooden ones, like wooden handles, like crazy nice spears. But I think we just got this one at like Bass Pro or Cabela's somewhere. Maybe it was Jay's up in northern Michigan, but this spear is super nice, guys. I've speared a ton of pike with this thing, and this spear is super nice. I know a lot of people get like different size teeth or different size spears, whatever you would want to call that, but this one works super good for us, and I really like that one. But that pretty much wraps up today's video. I just wanted to quickly go over some of the pike spearing stuff that I use when I'm heading out there. And here in Michigan, guys, the ice has been pretty weird lately. We've got maybe like a couple inches and then it melts away. So I'm really waiting till we get like maybe 4 or 5 inches until I get out there and start making some pike spearing videos again. But if you want to check out some of my videos from last year and the year before, I'll leave them linked up here in one of the corners for you guys to watch. But I really appreciate all the support on my videos. It means a lot. Like I said, if you are not subscribed, go hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And I am also in the process of creating my own website with all of my own merch and everything on it. So hopefully you guys will enjoy all my merch. I'm gonna be making a bunch of different hats. I'll have my stickers on there, sweatshirts, shirts, all kinds of things. So if you guys love my channel and want to support, my new merch will be available here starting next year. So really appreciate it, and make sure to stay tuned for all the content, and we will see you in the next one, guys.